Nobody saw it coming. One moment Paul Heyman was standing in that ring, confident, untouchable, protected, and the next, Seth Rollins made a statement so loud, so violent, so personal that it sent shockwaves through the entire WWE universe. But here is the part nobody is talking about enough. Braun Breaker saw everything. And Braun Breaker is not happy. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Wrestling Stream, the channel that breaks down every single moment that matters in professional wrestling. I am your host, and if you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now because today we are diving into one of the most explosive situations developing in WWE right now. We have a furious Seth Rollins, a vulnerable Paul Heyman, and an absolutely livid Braun Breaker who looks like he is ready to tear the entire roster apart. Buckle up, because this one is going to be intense. Let's set the scene properly, because context is everything when it comes to understanding just how significant this moment truly was. Paul Heyman is not just a manager. Paul Heyman is an institution. He is the special counsel to Roman Reigns, the self-proclaimed wisest man in all of professional wrestling, and for years he has operated from a position of absolute power and security. When you are aligned with the tribal chief, when you carry the protection of the bloodline behind you, you walk differently. You talk differently. You carry yourself with a level of arrogance that is only possible when you genuinely believe nothing bad can ever reach you. That belief was shattered the moment Seth Rollins decided he was done playing games. Seth did not come back from his absence to shake hands and ease his way back into the mix. He came back with a message. A message written not in words, but in action. And that action was directed straight at Paul Heyman, the man who has been at the center of so much of Seth's personal and professional pain over the years. This was not random. This was calculated. This was Seth Rollins sending a signal to every single person in that locker room and every single person watching at home. The visionary is back, and he is coming for everything. But here is where the story takes a turn that makes it 10 times more compelling. Braun Breaker is watching. Now, if you have been following Braun Breaker's trajectory over the past year, you already know that this man is not just a rising star, he is a locomotive. He is raw power wrapped in athletic ability, wrapped in an intensity that very few performers in WWE history have carried at his age and stage of career. Braun does not just compete, he hunts. He pursues. He locks onto a target and he does not stop until the job is done. And right now, Seth Rollins is the target. The moment Seth laid hands on Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker's entire world shifted. Because Heyman is not just a figure in WWE television to Braun, this is personal. This is about respect. This is about protection. This is about the kind of loyalty that runs deeper than any championship or any storyline, and when someone violates that, when someone reaches into your circle and causes that kind of chaos, the response is not going to be measured or diplomatic. The response is going to be Braun Breaker at full speed, full power, and full fury. Let us talk about what Braun's reaction actually communicated, because this man does not need 1,000 words to make his point. He said everything he needed to say with his body language, with his eyes, with the way he carried himself in the moments after that attack became known. There was no panic. There was no confusion. There was no scrambling to figure out what to do next. There was just a slow, burning, controlled rage that is somehow more terrifying than any screaming promo or any explosive outburst. When Braun Breaker gets quiet and focused, that is when people should be the most afraid. That stillness before the storm, that is the most dangerous version of Braun we have ever seen. He made it clear, what Seth Rollins did to Paul Heyman was not going to be forgotten. It was not going to be brushed aside. It was not going to be handled in a boardroom or resolved through a conversation. This was going to be handled the way Braun Breaker handles everything, physically, directly, and with absolute conviction. Seth Rollins lit a fuse. And Braun Breaker is the explosion. Now let us get into the layers here, because this is not just about one attack and one reaction. This story has depth, and that depth is what makes it so fascinating to break down. Seth Rollins attacking Paul Heyman is a chess move. Seth is not just going after Heyman because of personal grievance, although that grievance is absolutely real and absolutely justified given everything these two have been through. Seth is going after Heyman because Heyman is a nerve. Heyman is connected to Roman Reigns. Heyman is connected to the bloodline. Heyman is connected to the entire power structure that Seth has been fighting against, circling around, and colliding with for years. By going after Heyman, Seth is not just starting a fight, he is pulling a thread that unravels an entire web. And Braun Breaker is one of the most powerful pieces inside that web. So when Braun reacts to this attack, he is not just reacting as an individual, he is reacting as someone who understands exactly what Seth is trying to dismantle. And he is not going to let that happen. This elevates the entire storyline beyond a simple rivalry. This is now a war with factions, with alliances, with loyalties being tested and power being challenged from every direction. And right in the middle of it all, Seth Rollins standing defiantly, and Braun Breaker charging straight toward him. So what does Braun Breaker actually need to do next? Let us break it down. First, Braun needs a confrontation. Not a match yet. Not immediately. A confrontation. A face-to-face moment where the tension between these two men is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Where Seth looks at Braun with that signature smirk, that infuriating confidence, that absolute certainty that he is the smartest man in any room he walks into. And Braun stands there radiating pure, barely contained violence. That promo, that segment, that moment, is must-see television and WWE needs to deliver it perfectly. Second, Braun needs to make a physical statement of his own. Because right now Seth has the momentum. Seth made the first move. Seth dictated the terms of this opening chapter. Braun cannot simply react and chase. Braun needs to seize control of this narrative and remind Seth Rollins and the entire WWE universe that there is a reason Braun Breaker is one of the most feared superstars on the entire roster. He needs a moment that matches the intensity of Seth's attack and raises the stakes even higher. Third, and this is the long game, Braun needs this rivalry to tell a story that reveals new dimensions of who he is as a performer. We know Braun can be dominant. We know Braun can be powerful. But can he be cunning? Can he be emotionally driven in a way that connects with the audience on a deeper level? A program with Seth Rollins, one of the greatest storytellers in wrestling history, is the perfect opportunity to show the world that Braun Breaker is not just a destroyer. He is a complete performer. Let us talk about what Seth Rollins gains from poking this particular bear, because Seth is too smart to make a move without understanding the consequences. Seth knows exactly what Braun Breaker is capable of. He has watched Braun tear through opponents with a ferocity that is almost difficult to watch. He knows that by going after Heyman, he is almost certainly guaranteeing that Braun comes after him with everything he has. And here is the thing. Seth wants that. Seth needs that. Seth Rollins thrives in high-stakes situations. He is built for the biggest fights, the loudest arenas, the most intense rivalries. A program against a force of nature like Braun Breaker is not a risk to Seth, it is an opportunity. It is a chance to prove once again that regardless of size, regardless of power, regardless of how physically overwhelming his opponent might be, Seth Rollins finds a way. Seth Rollins adapts. Seth Rollins survives and conquers. He is not afraid of Braun. And that lack of fear might be the most dangerous thing about Seth Rollins right now. Here is the bigger picture that every wrestling stream viewer needs to understand. WWE is building towards something significant here. You do not create this kind of layered, emotionally charged, multi-character situation unless you are setting the table for a major payoff. The attack on Heyman. Braun's reaction. The Shield undercurrent running beneath all of it. The championship implications hovering over every segment. Every single piece of this puzzle is being placed deliberately, and when the full picture comes into focus, it is going to be breathtaking. Braun Breaker's hunger for revenge is not just a subplot. It is a central engine driving one of the most compelling programs WWE has going right now. And the collision between Braun's unstoppable physical force and Seth Rollins' unmatched ring intelligence and psychological warfare is the kind of matchup that main events pay-per-views. The kind of matchup that people talk about for years after it is over. We are at the beginning of something special here. And you are watching it unfold in real time. So that is the full breakdown right here on Wrestling Stream. Seth Rollins attacked Paul Heyman. Braun Breaker is furious, focused, and dangerous. And the road to revenge is being paved one violent, high-stakes chapter at a time. Now I want to hear from you. Are you on Team Seth or Team Braun in this situation? Do you think Seth went too far by going after Heyman? And how do you want to see Braun respond? Drop every single thought in the comments below. I read all of them and I genuinely want to know where the wrestling stream community stands. If this video got you fired up, smash that like button right now. It takes 1 second and it helps this channel more than you know. Subscribe to Wrestling Stream so you never miss a single breakdown, reaction, or deep dive. We are here every week covering every moment that matters. Until next time, stay passionate, stay loud, and never stop loving this sport. I will see you in the next one.